over 5 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. So I have my leftover 1 over 5 to the 5th. Does that seem like it's a correct answer to that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, and it is a correct answer to that. But now I'm going to follow the rule I just gave you. And now I'm going to say this is equal to 5 to the 3 minus 8. And what is 3 minus 8?
Negative 5.
Negative 5. Okay? So now we have a negative exponent.
Oh no.
Okay, we haven't had negative exponents before. But we started with this, and we wound up both here and here.
It's the same.
Okay? I'm going to give you guys a quick logic rule. Okay?
Why is yours negative and no one's positive?
Well, hold on a sec. I'm going to give you a quick logic rule. Okay? And this is going to be... The statements are not going to be true, but pretend for me a minute, okay? If Brandon is the same height as Jordan, okay? And Jordan, one day, all right, and Jordan is the same height as me. If those statements were all true, if Brandon were the same height as Jordan and Jordan were the same height as me, what would you have to say about me and Brandon?
You guys are the same height?
We'd have to be the same height too, right?
Yeah.
Okay? So if this is equal to this, and this is equal to this, tell me something about these two.
They're in common.
They have to be equal as well. 5 to the negative 5th must be the same thing as 1 over 5 to the 5th. So what this means is a negative exponent is an instruction. A negative exponent is an instruction to take something that would normally be the top of a fraction and make it the bottom of a fraction. And when you do, you switch the sign. When you cross the fraction bar, you change the sign of the exponent. Fraction bar looks like a line, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you cross the line, you flip the sign.
Nice one.
OMG.
Say it with me, guys.
Flip the sign when you cross the line.
Cross the line, you flip the sign.
Cross the line, flip the sign. Everybody, cross the line, flip the sign. Wow, that was
I have
enthusiastic.
a question.
Okay, yes.
Let's get in the air.
What if it's already a fraction? Like,
I'm glad you asked that.
Oh, wow, but-
Brandon, may I now erase this part as
Yes,
Adina
you
follows
may.
me back over here, my cinematographer?
That
Okay.
is fine.
Now, here's some examples of how this plays out.
Probably a girl. Ooh. Getting that ponytail.
If I just say, what is 3
1.
to the negative 2 power? Okay?
Second power?
3 to the negative 2nd power.
Second power.
What this means is, flip it into a fraction.
1 over negative 3. I mean,
No, 1 over 3 to the positive 2. And that's a reasonable one that I expect you guys to know. That is 1 over 9.
Are you serious?
Yes. I'm hoping you can multiply 3 times 3 by the time you get to high school.
I doubt it.
Call me a
That's
wild-eyed optimist, but...
can we keep it as 1 over 3 to the 2nd?
Like I said, before the next test, I'll give you guys some guidance on what I want. If I say what is 3 to the negative 22nd power, then I would like you to just keep it as 1 over 3 to the positive 22nd. I don't care what this is. It's huge. We'll get to how huge it is later.
It's so huge that your calculator can't even do it.
I think this might be one your calculator can't do.
Wow.
Now,
Sad. Bad.
here's what happens the other way this can go. What if I have 1 over 5 to the negative 3? Now, the negative exponent is an instruction to cross the line again. Jenny, what do you think this is going to be?
5 to the 3rd over 1.
5 to the 3rd over 1. Do we need to write the over 1? No. So we'll just say that's just 5 to the 3rd. I happen to know that's 125, but I don't think that's one I'll ask you to know without a calculator.
You are so strange.
Okay, so 1 over, but you get the idea that with a negative exponent. Okay. Now, here's a new rule.
Would you basically just do it the opposite way? If it's like that, 1 over 5 to the negative 3rd.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. Okay, here's another rule. If I have two different numbers, and they're both being raised to a power, they're both in a fraction, and they're both being raised to a power.
Yeah, can you use an actual number for the first time?
Sure, for the first one, if you prefer an example. Yeah. Okay, let's say I have 3/5, and I want the whole thing squared. Now, division is like multiplication. You can distribute the exponent. Okay? So this is the same thing as 3 squared over 5 squared. And again, for numbers this small, I might expect you to know that that's 9 over 25.
Aw.
Okay? So again, as long as it's multiplication or division,
What if it's a negative though?
ha 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 ha, hold that thought. Okay? So the general rule for this is if I have a over b raised to some number, it's a to that power divided by b to that power. Okay? Now, let's say there's a negative there. Here's another example. Let's say we have 3/5
I want to go.
to the negative 1 power.
Would you make everything negative?
No, not negative. This isn't like multiplication. A lot of kids mix that up. Negative exponents don't have anything to do with negative or positive signs. They have to do with flipping to the other side of the fraction bar. I'm going to show the first step, then I'm going to let Jenny try it. 3 to the negative 1. I'm going to take the exponent, distribute it to each, and then what do you think I do from there, Jenny?
You just flip it because if it's negative, it just calls for being flipped.
Just calls for being flipped. I like that. So you flip it, and this would just become 5/3. So 3/5 to the negative 1.
Why do you
Would
like
be
a fraction
5/3.
is kind of annoying.
I love fractions. Okay, I'm going to do one more example of these, and then I'll let you try some.
That's
Can you follow me over here, Dina?
I'm working on it.
All right. My fine cinematographer. One sec. Let me see. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you let Jenny go.
I know this.
Oh, jeez.
It's a good
That's true,
point.
actually.
You said, oh.
Someone's so mean.
Okay. 5x to the negative 3 y squared. Rewrite this without any negative exponents.
Sure.
Okay.
What was the question?
Rewrite this without any negative exponents. So where does the x to the negative 3 have to go?
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait, where?
On vacation?
No, not on vacation.
Flip it.
Flip it how?
I don't flip it.
You
Oh,
flip the
I know.
Okay, let me put it this. Let me do this.
Wait, no,
Let me write it this way first. Can I always write it as a fraction over 1?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now, Jordan, where should the x to the negative 3rd go in vacation?
Oh, bottom. I mean, under the 1.
Under the fraction on the bottom.
Under the C.
So under the c. That's right. So can I just write this as 5y squared over x cubed?
Man, that's cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So if you have a negative exponent mixed in there, you can flip it to the bottom. Do one more quick example here. So I just remembered something.
You did.
Yeah.
Brain blast.
Jimmy Neutron.
I like the crimson chin myself. Okay. Now, I've got a fraction here. I've got x's, y's, and z's with exponents. Do I have any negative exponents?
Yes,
Yes.
you have -2.
What should I do with that negative 2 on the bottom to make it not a negative exponent?
Flip it.
Flip it to the top. So then I'm going to get, this one's going to come up here. So now I'll have 2 x squareds on the top. The y cubed is left alone. The z cubed is left alone. If I have x squared and x squared being multiplied on the top, Jordan's got it. It becomes x to the 4th y cubed over z cubed. And I can't do anything else because x, y, and z are different numbers. Questions, comments, concerns, or compliments?
I like your shirt.
Thank you. I think black is a very slimming color. I try to wear it. I'm going to try and wear it more. Okay.
Blue, genius.
Cut and the